A very good afternoon. You're watching the midday news on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Ashwarya Kapoor. Let us start the news bulletin with the headlines. Rajya Sabha adjourned twice today after several opposition leaders raised regional issues. Chairman's appeal to take up matters concerning people's welfare by allowing smooth functioning of House goes unheeded. Governor invites Congress for talks on government formation in Madhya Pradesh. Congress, largest party in the state, BSP and SP offers support. Shivraj Singh Chauhan tenders resignation. Rajasthan Congress Legislature Party meet to choose Chief Ministerial candidate. Congress Chhattisgarh Legislature Party also meet today to choose its leader. India is set to increase public health spending to 2.5% of the GDP by 2025, says Prime Minister Modi. Inaugurating 2018 Partners Forum tells global experts a lot of interventions are required in the sector, including bigger budgets, better outcomes, and mindset change. And a massive manhunt on for lone gunmen who killed at least 3 people and wounded a dozen others at a Christmas market in France. French government raises security alert level and reinforces border controls. First up, news from Parliament. The Rajya Sabha was adjourned twice today following opposition protests over several regional issues. After several leaders gave notices under 267, the chairman said that he will allow discussions but under different provisions. Soon, several opposition leaders raised various regional issues. To this, the chairman reminded them that the results in the recently concluded elections is a reminder that people have faith in the democratic process and that the House must uphold that faith. But despite his appeals, a sloganeering continued, after which the chairman adjourned the House till 12 noon.
Honorable members, I have received notices under 267 by Sri D. Raja, Srimati Vijaya Satyanath, please. Tirch Siva, Sri Anand Sharman, Vishnu Viswam, K.K. Ragesh, Derek Oberyn on various issues. I have not permitted them, but I will be allowing them through other notices. So, I will be allowing discussion on other provisions. If this is the way, then you don't want the House to run, I leave it to you. Honorable members, day before yesterday, the people of India in certain states, they have overwhelmingly participated in the election and gave their verdict. That shows that they have confidence in the democratic system of the country. That being the case, we should respect the people's sentiment, allow the House to function and take up issues. I am willing to take up all the issues. I have no problem whatsoever. If this is not the way, I am not going to be dictated by these ways. I appeal to all the members who are there in the Tamil Nadu floods, Kerala floods, all other issues. Every issue will be taken up in the House.
And after the House assembled at noon, with the protests continuing, the chairman adjourned the House till 2 p.m. And the Rajya Sabha earlier today paid obituary reference to former US President George H.W. Bush as well.
His demise is an irreparable loss to the United States of America and its people. This House joins the bereaved family, the government, and the people of the United States of America in mourning the passing away of Mr. George H.W. Bush and conveys its heartfelt condolences to them in their hour of grief. We deeply mourn the passing away of Mr. George H.W. Bush. I request the members to rise in their places and observe silence as a mark of respect to the memory of the departed.
And the Rajya Sabha also hailed the successful launch of the country's heaviest communication satellite GSAT-11. The GSAT-11 that was launched from French Guiana on 5th of December will boost the broadband connectivity to rural and inaccessible gram panchayats in the country, coming under the BharatNet project, which is a part of the Digital India program.
GSAT-2 will be instrumental in providing high data rate connectivity to users of Indian mainland and islands. GSAT-2 is also poised to augment the BharatNet project, which envisages delivery of high-speed broadband services in over 2.5 lakh gram panchayats in the country. This achievement has added yet another precious milestone in the success story of Indian space history. On behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I congratulate the scientists, engineers, technicians of ISRO who are associated with this project and do hope that they continue to scale greater heights and make the country proud of their achievements. We wish them all success for their future endeavors.
And the Rajya Sabha also hailed the achievement of its member and boxer MC Mary Kom. Remember, she won a historic 6th gold medal in the World Championships recently.
On behalf of the whole House and on my own behalf, I congratulate Srimati MC Mary Kom, a nominated member of this August House, for clinching the gold medal in the 48 kg category in the Women's World Boxing Championship held at New Delhi in November 2018. With this feat, Srimati Mary Kom has become the most successful amateur woman boxer in the global history with 6 World Championships gold medals and 1 silver to her credit. She made not only the whole country proud of her achievement, but even this House too, and all of us being her colleagues.
Our colleague Akhilesh Suman is now joining us. Akhilesh, it is just the start of the winter session, and the legislative agenda was to be kick-started today. But instead, we saw disruptions. Rajya Sabha really barely worked for, in total, about 15 minutes since morning.
Yeah, Aishwarya, you are right. That when the House started at 11 a.m., it was very, very calm and cool atmosphere. Everyone was sitting in their chairs, and then chairman read out the obituary to Mr. Bose, and also then Mary Kom was held. GSAT scientists were held, and every member supported it. But once this finished, ministers also made a statement. They laid papers on the table of the House. But after that, that when 0 hour was announced, AIADMK members came in the well of the House, and they started raising the slogan for save farmers from Kaveri issue. So Kaveri issue became one of the major, that they came with a placard in the House, and that in well placards are not allowed. Yes. So this was the situation. Chairman requested them again and again to go in the chairs and then sit and let the House proceedings go. But they did not go back, and that is why chairman has to adjourn the House for 1 hour. And at 12, when question hour was to start, yes, then also the same situation was there, and then chairman has to adjourn it for 2 p.m. So this was the situation in Rajya Sabha. On converse, if you come to Lok Sabha, in Lok Sabha also scenario was almost the same. Opposition members were raising many issues, like that Ram Mandir issue was also raised by Shiv Sena members, then Rafale issue, then CBI issue, then Telangana, Save Telangana issue, and this was the whole note with which the House started in both both houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and everyone was expecting that this will be constructive session, because this is going to be the last session, yes, last normal session, full-fledged session of last 5 years. Yes. So it was a bit unexpected, but that when political confrontation and political issues raise high in the House, such type of situation arise, and especially when members try to score their high points, this type of situation take place, and this has taken place today in both houses of Parliament, Aishwarya.
Absolutely. So the political party is looking for brownie points in Parliament. That is indeed sad. Rajya Sabha is going to resume at 2 p.m. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for all those updates there from Parliament. And as Akhilesh was telling us, the Lok Sabha was adjourned twice today morning following protests by the members from various political parties on a plethora of issues. First, the lower house was adjourned till noon following protests by the Congress, Shiv Sena and the AIA-DMK members. As soon as the question hour began, after obituary references to 11 former members, several leaders belonging to these parties trooped into the well carrying banners and shouting slogans. The parties were demanding a JPC probe in the Rafale deal, construction of a Ram temple in Ayodhya and justice for farmers of the Kaveri Delta. And after the House reassembled at noon with the protests continuing, the Speaker adjourned the House till Thursday. Those were all the news related to Parliament, and in Midday News, we'll take a very short break here. We'll be right back with more news on the other side.
Rajya Sabha TV's YouTube channel has just crossed a new exciting milestone. It now has over 1 million subscribers. That's more than 10 lakh people who like and want to watch RSTV. Over 15 crore people have watched our videos. Our online viewers are also engaging with us more actively on YouTube. More and more people like, share and comment on our videos. We thank you, our growing tribe of RSTV viewers. We will strive every day to bring you more exciting and engaging content. So stay tuned to Rajya Sabha TV.
Counting for the Madhya Pradesh polls is over, and this is what the final tally looks like. The BJP has 109 seats, while the Congress has 114. The BSP has won 2 seats, while the Samajwadi Party has bagged 1 seat, and independents have won 4. And talking about the vote share now, the BJP is slightly ahead with 41%, and the Congress has 40.9%. In the 230-seat legislature, the winning party must win at least 116. And with the Congress short of that figure, the BSP has offered support to the party.
हमारी पार्टी ने कांग्रेस पार्टी की सोच व नीतियों से सहमति न जताते हुए भी यहाँ मध्य प्रदेश में अपनी पार्टी का कांग्रेस पार्टी को सरकार बनाने के लिए समर्थन देने का फैसला लिया है.
And the Samajwadi Party has also offered support to the Congress in the state. Meanwhile, Governor Anandiben Patel has invited the Congress for talks for government formation in the state. The party, remember, however, is yet to name its chief ministerial candidate.
जनादेश कांग्रेस पार्टी को मिली है. कांग्रेस के पार्टी अध्यक्ष जो भी निर्णय लेंगे वो सिर माते हैं. हम सबको एक साथ मिलकर जनता की आशा और अभिलाषाओं को पर खड़े उतरकर उन्हें पूर्ण करनी है. यही हमारा संकल्प है.
An outgoing Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan tendered his resignation earlier today.
मित्रों, प्रदेश के इतिहास में ये दूसरी बार है जब किसी पार्टी को स्पष्ट बहुमत नहीं मिला है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने यद्यपि वोट ज्यादा प्राप्त किए हैं, लेकिन संख्या बल में हम पिछड़ गए हैं. मैं संख्या बल के सामने शीश झुकाता हूं और हमने फैसला किया है कि स्पष्ट बहुमत न मिलने के कारण हम सरकार बनाने का दावा पेश नहीं करेंगे.
And in Rajasthan too, the Congress has emerged as the single largest party. It has bagged 99 seats, but it is still short of the halfway mark. The BJP has bagged 73, the BSP has won 6 seats, independents have bagged 13. And when it comes to vote share, the fight between the BJP and the Congress is close. The Congress bagged a 39.3% vote share and the BJP 38.8%. And the Congress Legislature Party meeting is being held to decide the next Chief Minister of the state. The party says it will implement all the promises that it has made in its manifesto, and a decision on who will be at the helm in the state will be announced this evening.
विधायक दल की बैठक हो रही है, एक प्रस्ताव पास होगा, फैसला हाईकमान को अधिकार दिया जाएगा करने का, फिर एक एक राय भी ली जाएगी कि विधायकों की भावना क्या है और वरिष्ठ नेताओं से बातचीत की जाएगी। जो आए हैं ऑब्जर्वर मिस्टर वेणुगोपाल जी और अविनाश पांडे जी, और उसके बाद में फिर हाईकमान से चर्चा करके फैसला होगा। ये प्रक्रिया हर राज्य में अपनाई जाती है।
राजस्थान में एक नया दौर शुरू होगा नई सरकार के निर्माण के साथ, और हमारी सरकार की प्राथमिकता रहेगी कि यहाँ पर हम किसान और नौजवानों को प्राथमिकता देकर जो मैनिफेस्टो में हमने कमिटमेंट किए हैं उनको पूरा करें। And today, once the meeting is finished, we will announce the leadership issue today. So all of you are waiting for all these days and months and weeks will end. We will make the formal announcement, whatever the Congress party decides this evening.
Remember, Rajasthan went to polls on 7th of December for 199 out of the total 200 seats. The state registered a polling percentage of 74%. Election in Alwar's Ramgarh seat was postponed and the polling will take place later due to the death of BSP candidate Lakshman Singh here. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday asserted that victory and defeat are an important part of life. While reacting to the 2018 Assembly election results, he thanked the BJP workers for the work that they did in their state elections. In a series of Twitter messages, the Prime Minister said that the results will further the BJP's resolve to serve the people and work even harder for the development of India. Prime Minister Modi also congratulated the Congress, Telangana's K. Chandrasekhar Rao and the Mizo National Front for their respective victories and said the BJP accepts the mandate of people with humility. And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has said that the BJP will introspect on the election results and emerge stronger.
The result certainly is an opportunity for the BJP to pause and analyze, because the results have not been on expected lines. It's time for us, as I said, to pause and introspect. And I'm quite determined that both the leadership of my party and the cadres will have an honest analysis, and we are determined in these two states to further improve our positions.
And Congress President Rahul Gandhi has termed Congress's win as a victory of farmers, youth and party workers. He said the Congress will work in these states with a renewed vigor and vision.
ये जीत कांग्रेस पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं की है, किसानों की है, युवाओं की है, छोटे दुकानदारों की है। ये जो आवाज़ उठी है, अब कांग्रेस पार्टी के ऊपर एक भारी जिम्मेदारी है कि इस आवाज़ को हम अच्छी तरह सुने और इन स्टेट्स में जो विजन दिया जाना चाहिए वो हम दे पाएं। तो इस पे हम अब काम शुरू करेंगे।
Talking about results from Chhattisgarh, the Congress bagged Chhattisgarh after 15 years. The Congress has bagged 68 seats and is leading in 1 seat. The BJP has bagged 15 seats. The BSP and its ally have bagged 7 seats, and the Congress Legislature Party will be meeting today to elect their leader. Talking about Telangana, the Congress-led Praja Kutumi Alliance in Telangana faced a drubbing at the hands of the TRS. The TRS bagging 88 seats in the 119-member assembly, the Congress bagging 19 and its ally the TDP bagging 2. While the BJP bagged 1 seat, the AIMIM bagged 7 seats. And the Congress also lost its last bastion in Mizoram. The party could only get 5 seats as the Mizo National Front romped home with 26 seats. The BJP won 1 seat. Let's get you some other news now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said that India is set to increase its public health spending to 2.5% of its GDP by 2025. He was speaking at the inauguration of the 4th Partners Forum 2018 in New Delhi. He also said that India is one of the first countries to advocate focused attention on adolescents and to implement a full-fledged health promotion and prevention program for adolescents. The Partners Forum meet this year will focus on improving multi-sectoral action for results, sharing our country's solutions and capturing the best practices and knowledge within the health sector and among related sectors. Union Health Minister J.P. Nadda also addressed the inaugural session, among others.
We are committed to increasing India's health spending to 2.5% of GDP by 2025. Reaching to more than $100 billion. This will mean an actual increase of 345% over the current share in just 8 years. We will continue to work for the betterment of people.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also said that the government is continuously working towards creating a healthy India. In a Twitter message, the Prime Minister added that in a major milestone for Ayushman Bharat health scheme, over 5 lakh families got free healthcare services worth 700 crore rupees in 80 days. Ayushman Bharat aims to cover 10 crore poor and vulnerable families, providing coverage up to 5 lakh rupees per family per year for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that India attaches utmost importance to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. He said this in an interaction with a member, Chamber of Deputies and President IPU, Gabriela Barron, who called on him in New Delhi on Tuesday. The Vice President further added that the 2030 Agenda and its 17 Sustainable Development Goals mirror our own vision of development. Several of our initiatives like the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Swachh Bharat, Jan Dhan Yojana, etc. relate to several targets of the SDGs. He said that Mexico is a very important partner for India and India attaches great importance to its relations with Mexico. The Vice President also said that terrorism is a big menace to the world community, adding that poverty is also a huge challenge for all of us. Former Economic Affairs Secretary Shakti Kanta Das has assumed charge as the RBI Governor. He replaces Urijit Patel, who resigned on Monday. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley termed Das as a person with the right credentials for the RBI top job. Das, who becomes 25th Governor of the RBI, is a former IAS officer of Tamil Nadu cadre. Let's get you all the international news now. First up, news from France, where a gunman killed at least 3 people and wounded 11 others near a Christmas market in the French city of Strasbourg. According to reports, elite police covered the suspect and he was fired upon. The motive of the shooting, however, is not immediately clear, but the counter-terrorism prosecutor has opened an investigation. People in the city's Neudorf area as well as Etoile Park were told to stay where they were as the officers hunted the shooter on the ground and from the air. Sporting action now. The BWF World Tour Badminton Finals will kick off from today in China. PV Sindhu and Sameer Verma are the only 2 Indian players who have managed to qualify for the end of the season finale. In the women's singles, PV Sindhu is placed in Group A and she will face Akane Yamaguchi of Japan today. And Sameer Verma has been placed in Group B and he will take on Kento Momota of Japan today in the men's singles. News from the world of hockey. Belgium and Netherlands have entered the quarterfinals of the Men's Hockey World Cup. Olympic silver medalists Belgium defeated four-time champions Pakistan 5-0 in the third crossover match, while the Netherlands beat Canada 5-0 in the fourth crossover match to make it to the quarterfinals. And with the losses, Pakistan and Canada crashed out of the tournament. And earlier, England and France had booked their quarter-final berths by registering victories in the first two crossover games. Remember, hosts India, two-time defending champions Australia, Argentina and Germany have already sealed their last 8 berths after topping their respective pools. In today's quarter-final matches, Argentina will take on England, and in the second quarter-final match, Australia will face France. That's the wrap on this edition of Midday News. Up ahead is Khabar Dopeher. Thanks for watching.